Buenos nachos. What kind of cheese is nachos? Let's get it popping. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, that's Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. And today is freaking Friday, or Financial Friday. Friday, July the 29th, 2022. And the time is 3:40 Central. As always, brothers and sisters, got a powerful message. We're going to jump right in and talk about it. In this world, you are God. Man, I've been watching season 4 of WestWorld, and it's off the mother beep plantation. It's off the channel. Almost everything, the last 3 episodes have been crazy. Especially the episode I just watched last night, episode 5, where Catherine, Dorothy kind of has amnesia, so she don't remember that she's God. So she's carrying herself and acting like she's a human. The whole series, going all the way back to season 1 of WestWorld, it's about a world where gods, they're not gods, but demigods come and play God with humans. It's an exact duplicate or copy of this world. So as we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks, and we'll continue for the rest of this month until the series starts on August the 15th, cost of the new series is $249, where we're going through probably, I think we're going to stretch it out to maybe 10 to 12 days as we go through, under open understanding that there is a physical feeling of being unified with Source. That is the universal, unified field of physics. So we're going to get into the physics of being God. Brothers and sisters, this is how you monetize causality. This is how you monetize what comes easy to you. This is how you monetize, this is how you get paid for just being you. So everybody on this call, you guys know, just recently purchased, this closed on about a $1 million house that started out at like $700,000, and over the course of getting built, inflation has went up so much that it increased to close to $1 million. And the point of it is, it was done and will continue to be done with ease. Because just like WestWorld, when you make statements in a state that we're going to be discussing today, it rewrites the narrative or the code in this world. Your job is to show yourself the game, and your job is to access your narrative. So that way you can change it if you so fit, like I did. So we want to talk about these 3 steps or keys to understanding the monetization of your highest possible good. This is how you monetize the highest possible good. Right now, you're monetizing the lowest possible good. That's why it's hard work. That's why it takes time. That's why it takes energy. That's why it takes effort. That's why you got to do all this extremism to get it to manifest, because you're fighting against the prick. You're swimming upstream and instead of swimming downstream. And regardless of where you are, what you're doing in life, you have unknowingly set yourself up for failure. And it's extremely important, brothers and sisters, that everybody on the call understand that each and every person on this call has this power, this dunamis power, to oscillate and vibrate, which simply means to have the inner world control the outer world. So in WestWorld, there is a maze that's in the top of everybody's skull. And if you figure out the maze, then that gets you out of the haze. And so the problem is the inability for the average Archibalon and non-Archibalon to figure out the maze. So that's the key. The key is, if you can, and you can, but we got to understand what we're going to talk about today. So if you can figure out the maze in WestWorld, and it's kind of like, the maze, it's like the mage. And as we talk about in some of like Maryland and the ancient texts, they always talk about a mage. And the mage is just someone that can influence, animals and people using mental telepathy. That's you. So if you can figure out the maze, then and only then can you get out of the haze. So you cannot get out of the haze until you figure out the maze. And if you can figure out the maze, then and only then can you get out of the haze. So you stay in the haze until you can figure it out. So now we've got to look at the maze, because this maze is a program. And the inability for you to understand the program is the haze. So everybody's listening today and you're walking around in a haze because of the maze. So the maze creates the haze. So that's what first base you've got to understand, because everybody thinks that they're not in a haze. Now, if you watch WestWorld Season 4, it explains everything in detail. The haze that you are in is the result of the maze, or the inability to operate the maze. So the experiment was done when you put rats inside of a maze. It takes them a while to figure it out. Then once they figure it out, bam, they got it. And then you put a new mouse in there, takes them a while to figure it out, and they figure it out. And then when those two mice give birth to their offspring, the offspring are born with the genetic code to figure out the maze. So the children of the pair that rented them, once the parents figure out the maze, then the children are born with a legacy, if you want to use that term, or they're born with a disposition that allows them to operate the maze. That's the point that you hear. So in Westworld, Dorothy, or Doris is her real name, but she doesn't know it. And they have multiple, it's crazy. You got to watch it. But in this scene, the guy reminds her, hey, we're not like them. We are gods in this maze. And each individual person creates their own individual world that they live in, but they don't know that they're doing it. So the whole series of Westworld is the exact copy of where you are at right now. Right now, we lack the last episode of Westworld, which is like 2 or 3 weeks from now. I saw the title of it, and it's called Metanoia. I was eating and I was watching, I damn near dropped my plate. Now, I've done many shows on metanoia and paranoia. And hopefully you guys remember that we live in a world of metanoia. Now, the average, I'll keep it on again, this is above the pay grade, because metanoia means change in one's way of life or spiritual conversion. So metanoia simply means that this is literally how you're able to transfer or change your heart. Metanoia, again, is a Greek word that means to change one's mind or to turn around or to repent. So in Westworld, she totally forgot that she has this power, so she's living like a peasant. A friend from her past shows up to remind her, and he tells her, because you've been indoctrinated, how? Narratives and story. Jesus called that parabole. So everybody on this call, you have been indoctrinated by parabole. That just simply means that you have adopted some fallible proofs instead of the infallible proofs that's found inside of cosmology, theology, and biology. So everybody should be oscillating in what is called discipleship, messiahship, and kingship. This is kingdomology. If you remember going all the way back to fruit, freedom, and faith, or faith, freedom, and facts, or facts, freedom, and faith, the 3 F's that replace the lower level of fun, fighting, and effing of procreation. So we must understand that right now we have options that are called fear, fight or flight, and freeze. So those are the three options every day. You got to operate in fear, or you got to fight, or you in a state where you talk about shit that doesn't matter, which means that you have a coping mechanism. So that means that you like a deer in the headlights, because you can't address the true issues in life because you have a story, but it's his story. It's the snake's story, because you are in skin. Skin, the S stands for snake. Kin stands for king. So you are the snake's kin. You are related to the snake. We all are, because the snake represents sine waves. On a quantum level, it represents quantum dot tattoos. It represents the PCR, the polymerase chain reaction test, or the COV, covenant, ID, identification, 9, or 19, or 10, or 1, a polyon. So strong concordance number 19, which is broken down to strong concordance number 10, which is broken down to strong concordance number 1, which is a polyon. That is the God of this world. And so in WestWorld, they are explaining to you in vivid detail that there's no way, that is the greatest, the episode I just saw, if you are really serious about overstanding the spirit realm and monetizing your natural expression, you have to watch season 4, episode 5 of WestWorld. If you are really serious of understanding the game and why you got to work hard and why life is the way that it is and why that you are condensation or condensed matter physics. If you really want to understand the demonized narrative that prevents you from operating in klerosology or metaology or heliology or Christosology or freedomology or magnetology or fruitology, all of these ologies, which we'll be breaking down later on this year, get you out of the snake's story, history. The world that we live in is controlled by, like it says in narrative in WestWorld, a narrative. You didn't write the narrative. The narrative was written for you, and in WestWorld there's this big sound, boom, if you watch it, and all of the humans are controlled by sound. Just like physics, as I would prove to you, you are unified with a feeling based upon the physics of the cosmic tour instead of the sound and frequency of the Most High. So Saturnalia, Saturn's cube, the Cuban Mecca, they all collaborate to keep you trapped in what I call groundhog state. Now, the inability to wrap the brain around the statement that I'm making today is the causality of this reality. So everybody has the same problem. Nobody is exempt. Very few people have the ability to understand what I just said because of the program. So the first part of the program, because remember, if you watch WestWorld, the guy tells her exactly what I'm telling you, and she used to do all of this stuff that the guy is telling her that she used to do, which is what? She could say freeze all motor functions. And the person that she was talking to would freeze. That means that she was hijacking their mental disposition. So in WestWorld, you got to realize it's a spiritual world, but they are expressing it in physical fashion. That's extremely important because that's the same thing that's going on today, which simply means that you got to understand that Jesus says that I don't say nothing unless I say it in a parabole, a story. So WestWorld says the only way to control the world is with a story. Now, you got a story, but you don't like your story. So you ain't told nobody your story. So no story, no glory. So all I do is I'm a storyteller. Right now I'm telling a story about WestWorld and how it relates and applies to your life. Now, unfortunately, when I talk to people, they say, Doc, they ain't shit about my story, my brother. I'm not special. I'm just a, average Negro. That's the game. I got to get you to believe that you just say, you're like everybody else. I got to get you to believe that the shit that you do every day has no value. So that way you can stay in line and operate in an acidic manner instead of operating according to infinity. So infinity is based upon beliefs that control behaviors or actions. And all of these beliefs come from whatever you say. Now, what does that mean in English? That just simply means everybody has a name, everybody has a niche, and everybody has a narrative. In WestWorld, all they talk about is the narrative. Now, your job is to understand that, okay, who wrote that narrative? Did you write it? Is there anybody right now, listen to me, wrote their own mother beep, 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 beep narrative? Else no. Why not? The shit was written when you got here, boo. So everything that you're doing right now, you've never questioned the nature of your reality. To the level where there is no devil. How do I know? You still have what we call fights. So I don't have fights. I do what they do in WestWorld. Freeze all motor functions. So anytime something shit happens to me, I say freeze all motor functions. What does that mean? That means I focus on my desire fulfilled. So freeze all motor functions means you only see the glass half full. Anybody telling me, the whole world has been telling you the glass is half empty, but you refuse to see the glass half empty. Now, you got a job. Your job is to battle your own self. There's a war going on in your own head. The war is you're poor, you're sick, you're aging, you're getting older, shit doesn't work the way it used to work, and there's evidence. But in WestWorld, nobody gives a shit about the evidence. In real life, the brain don't give a shit about reality. The brain only contains mentality. Since the brain don't give a shit about reality, I don't give a shit about reality. So all the shit that everybody's talked to, I don't give a mother about that. I'm only focused on one thing, manifest destiny. So unfortunately, it is impossible for most people to focus on what they want. Like I said, the hardest thing in the world, remember, this has been scientifically proven that it's almost impossible for anybody to focus on what they want for an hour. They've done thousands of tests, and the brain automatically resists, because remember, you're programmed for worst case scenario. You automatically program it. It slips in, you don't even know it. You could be sitting there and you could be processing shit, you be vibrating really high, and you live in your dream, and then before you know it, you like worrying about the light bill that's coming up there 2 weeks away. It just slips in the back door. So everybody, myself included, all I do is monitor it. Your job is to understand, do the same thing, just like WestWorld. So WestWorld says that in order for you to monetize what comes easy to you, in this world you are a god. So first base is show me the game. As I said, the game is GTA 5. This world, like WestWorld, the guys that are gods that know how to use, like I forgot the character the black lady plays. I think she's the only black character in there. Come and think of it. Damn. Oh yeah, but the other dude, he's a black character too. But anyway, he does the same thing. What does he do? Well, they walk around and they use their inner brain to control everybody. So they use mental telepathy. So what that means is they have more emotional intensity than everybody else. But their emotional intensity is on what they want. It's not on controlling other people. So I don't go through life trying to control people. I don't go through life trying to get people to buy shit. I go through life trying to solve shit. So every morning I wake up, I say to myself, what do I do naturally that other people can't do? That's all I do. And I realized that I just found this one app, which, we don't really need it. It's called ID. Anyway, it's an app just like Microsoft Word, except it's on Google. You just go to Google, you type in that thing, and whatever you say, whatever you start talking, it automatically goes onto a little notepad. So in other words, it's another way to write a book. So you can write a book by talking like I do. Now, Microsoft Word has this, and Microsoft Word to me is awesome. It's better than Web, because I was paying $150 like per show. So you talk for an hour, pay $150, and you get that everything that you said back on paper. 15, 20 pages worth of text. You edit it, turn it into a book. Now, a third grader can do that. So nobody on this call could tell me that they can't write a book. Now, you don't, like everybody says, well, you don't need to. Only thing that a book does is it positions you as an expert in that area, because it is writing, and writing is spelling, and spelling is grammar casting. So just like in WestWorld, if you want to cast a spell on people, make them buy your shit, and they don't even like you. They buy your book and don't even read it, and then they talk about you, but you already got the money, so you should be happy. At least I am. They don't even know why they buy it. The mere fact that you position yourself, because that's what the world is about. So in WestWorld, they are teaching you the number one key in life, the game. So number one, you got to know the game on this level. Just like GTA 5. Just like in the movie Free Guy. The game is to level up. Level up. Free Guy saw the girl of his dreams. She showed him her score, which was 100 and something. Free Guy had 1 point. She tells him, when you get a over 100 point, come back and see me. Where did he go out? He went out, and instead of killing people, he was helping people. So helping people is the game. Everybody else, humans kill. Gods help. That's what you said the difference between humans and gods. So I'm not a human. I'm a god. Now, you may be a human. It just depends on your brain. Because human is just a mental disposition. Anybody can be a god if they level up, as proven by all of the movies, including WestWorld. And all of the movies. Remember, Spider-Man was a regular dude. He got bit by a spider. Everybody, Hulk got everybody, something that got exposed. Remember Black Panther got his shit from that little, I forgot the herb, the flower, or whatever. What's the point, Doc? What's the point? Whether it's, whatever you are exposed to, that's your amulet. All the superheroes. RGB, red, green, blue. Another 30 for another time. What's the point? The point is, the game of life is about you understanding you. So in Westworld, she goes behind the scene and she says, show me the game. And the game was, everybody had a predetermined DNA template, as we talked about yesterday. So she wrote everybody's template, but she don't remember it. Damn. Let me say it again. So you live in a world and you wrote your own template, but you don't remember. And you wrote the template for everybody that you meet, date, marry. You wrote that before you got here. And it's triggered by certain things that you do. So the words that you say to yourself, the images that you make in your head, allows you to find and fulfill and manifest the market that you're designed to exist. And you wrote your own storyline before it was hijacked and replaced by the code, which is the cube, which is the cross. So there are computer code. Everybody must understand this statement that I'm about to make. That if you are able to understand this statement, today forward, if you can keep the wipers from wiping your brain, if you can keep the erasers from erasing your brain, and if you can keep your handlers from handling your brain, you will change immensely. If you can wrap your brain around Saturnalia, the cube on Saturn, that is releasing a frequency wave of vibration. Busyness is the only way to keep your ass on the plantation. If you stop, slow down, you will see the narrative. You will see that this whole world is over. effing lie. It's called the unveiling. The game of life is to keep you on the treadmill of life. House, car, husband, wife, kids, dog, monkey, squirrel, rabbit. You got all this shit you got to do. Then you go, when you do get time out, and you watch a mindless show because you need to relax, because you stressed the fuck out, because life is whooping your ass, because you on the treadmill and you running like a Hebrew slave in August in Texas, and it's hot as a mother in Texas right now. You are in a damn haze because your ass is in a maze. Welcome to the club. But your flaws have uniquely prepared you for your cause. You just don't know it yet. Your flaws have uniquely prepared you for your cause. I talk to people that's interesting, like people pop back up on my timeline, like yesterday, an old friend of mine, and I told him, and I like this when two old friends, our brother Rome and this other guy, brother Zach, remember, you guys probably remember, except maybe the fans, I don't know if anybody else remember them, and I remember telling them, and now that I'm posting, it's crazy. So I told them I'll be buying $1 million house. I told them I'll be driving my $100,000 car when I was homeless. There was part of the life management system when I was homeless. Homeless. I was parking in front of 24-hour fitness, sleeping in my car, moving my car around so it couldn't get repoed, staying one step ahead of the repo man. And I remember every time I would get out of my car to go into the gym, I would park it somewhere so that it would be difficult for a tow truck to come in there if they did find me. And I remember I was donating blood plasma. I was separated. I was going through a divorce, and all I had every week was the money that I got from donating blood plasma. And I remember I looked like I was a freaking, my veins were so beat up because I donated so much that it looked like I was a freaking drug addict. Even now, if you look at it, I got holes, like little black dots, right where my elbow is at from like giving blood or donating plasma. And the whole time I was homeless donating plasma, I was thinking about, I had a picture in my head. I'm trying to help somebody today, man. This shit is real. I had words in my fucking head, and I had an image in my fucking head of where I was fucking going. And now I'm fucking here. So this shit works. But everybody's too fucking busy to pay attention. That's WestWorld. That's what's called West. Because it's the upwards expanse of the north. Everybody's going west. Broad, that's WestWorld. That's why if you don't do anything, I'm begging you, watch season 4, episode 5, and if that shit doesn't resonate with your spirit, you know you're dead, spiritually dead. Now, you can be resuscitated, hopefully. It ain't over until you stop breathing. As long as you're alive, there's a possibility that, shit, the universal language of the Mazaruth or the constellation can penetrate your skull. There's a possibility that the frequency waves and vibration, the ghost particle that's being sent, the neutrinos, the neutrinos, hopefully can penetrate your skull. If not, shit, nothing nobody can do for you. So that's the game. Number one, know the game. The game is you are a god with amnesia. The game is if you say if you declare and decree anything, the shit must happen. That's the problem, and that's the solution. You are saying shit, you get angry, and you say, damn, this shit ain't gonna never work. You just curse yourself. Then you get pissed off, and you're like, man, sorry, mother, blah, 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 blah. You go off on somebody. You say some negative shit. You just curse yourself. So when I get pissed off, I don't say nothing about you. I may say something about you, but as far as me, shit, I'm a high vibrational mother. That's all I'm gonna say about me. I don't give a shit if I do everything wrong. I'm still a god. So I still walk on water. All things still work together for my good. All I see is abundance. I just create abundance everywhere I go. Number one, the game in this world is you create what you speak. And speaking ain't got shit to do with coming out of your mouth. Speaking has to do with the disposition in your head. And we got one mother problem. Please watch WestWorld Season 4, Episode 5. I'm begging you. Please watch WestWorld Season 4, Episode 5. I'm begging you. Please watch WestWorld Season 4, Episode 5. So that's number one, the game. Nobody knows it. I just told it to you, and unfortunately, you're too busy. I already know. I already know, but I already did it. Remember, I'm not talking about no shit. I know. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for you because I was there. And when I was there, I was too busy to stop and really listen. Remember, listening don't mean shit. Hearing, because faith comes by hearing. Nothing is more important than your role today. And your role today is you have to hear. You don't have to, but if you really want to manifest something in your life, what do you got to do? You got to focus all your attention on that. But you can't, because you got bills to pay. So what are you focusing on? Your bills. So since you focus on your bills, you get more bills. That's the game. The game is the devil is not stupid, man. He knows that you keep fighting your pain. So the more distracted you are, the more dangerous you are. You know the dangerous motherfuckers out there is the distracted mother. The distracted Negro is dangerous because he's not dedicated, not disciplined, so he's not developed. I can't hang out with a distracted mother. Dumb, distracted, and dangerous. That's a triple D. And damn near every mother I know is dumb, distracted, and dangerous. Dumb means that you're ignoring the shit I'm telling you right now. Because you got bills to pay. Fuck the bills, man. They either get paid or they don't. So all I did was put all my attention on what do I need to do to pay the bills. Well, I mean, this shit makes sense to me. You got bills and you just sitting at home thinking about them instead of getting off your ass and doing something. Not you personally, of course. I ain't not talking about nobody on this call. Again, this is just general. This is just how I spoke. It's how we do it down here in Texas. So what's the solution? The solution is to dedicate yourself to being disciplined, to develop who you truly are. Like you said in WestWorld. But we can't do that, Doc. Why? Well, the Bible says be angry, sin not. So yes, I'm an angry mother. Run up on me at the wrong time. Shit, I cannot. I'm just saying. You might want to announce yourself before you don't sneak up on me, bro. It just be angry, but sin not. So I like being angry. That's how I get shit done. So how does God see? See, we all have a faculty of seeing called self-image. So in Westworld, the real God is like locked up in a cage, and his clone is out operating like him. Now they say Hollywood does this shit all the time. They say every president, like Biden right now, the real Biden is shit locked up somewhere dead, but he got a clone walking around. Everybody thinks that's him. Now I know this is out there. I understand. So once you understand the game, now you got to do number two. Number two is access my narrative. So number one, season 4, episode 5, Westworld. Everybody creates their own world, and now you got to gather and attract NPCs. What does that mean? Everybody has a different journey. My job is to recruit you to my journey so that way you can see how it's done, and then you go out and then you establish your own journey. There is a co-journeyer for everybody. Sometimes in your lifetime you will connect with that co-journeyer. It's called a soulmate or a twin flame. However, 90% of people will never connect with their sojourner in this lifetime. That's just the way that the universe, because we're not vibrating in our authentic self. So we cannot attract our authentic self. So that it makes sense. So your job is to make sure that you access your own narrative. Right now, you're accessing TD Jakes, Crypto Dollar, Joel Osteen's narrative. Everybody on this call, you or living your life according to somebody else's narrative. Nobody on this call, myself included, I just started, and I've been doing this shit for longer than some of you guys have been around, at least 20 plus years. And I'm steady removing shit from my narrative, and I'm stepping down. I'm dumbing down. I'm niching down. I got my name. Now I'm establishing my lane or my niche based upon my narrative. So in WestWorld, there are people who write narratives. Those are gods. The ability to write a narrative, that's what separates gods from men and peasants from priests. That's why I told everybody you got to be an author. You don't have a choice. If you do not become an author, now, because of technology and like people like me, you don't necessarily have to write your own book. You can just hire somebody as long as you give them the story. If you, like me, I don't even need your assistant. I just need your name and your date of birth. And then I know your story. So most of the books, I've written at least 20, 25 books for other people. Ghosts. I'm a ghostwriter. So, now, my shit's not cheap though, because I'm good at what I do. So not only do I write your book, I also set up your website. And I give you a card. All you got to do is put the key in the ignition, turn it on, and punch the gas. That means you got to market it because it's your product. Or you can do it yourself. Either way, Habakkuk 2:2 says that anybody, again, that has a vision, write it down so that people that read it can run with it. So your power comes from your ability to do what Jesus did, or what the Bible says, which is, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. So what does that mean, Doc? Well, that just simply means that you got to have a story line in your head. Otherwise, you're dead. You got to watch WestWorld. You see what I mean? So if you don't have a storyline in your head, then you come up dead. Not physically, but spiritually. That just simply means that you're influenced by somebody else's storyline. Now, especially like in relationships. Like you see a woman, she meets a guy. And then she does everything for the guy. Now the guy usually treats her like trash, but she stays. Why? She doesn't have her own storyline. Why? She gave up her storyline for the guy. Why? Well, she went to Ebenezer Baptist. And they said, women, submit to your man. Submit to your husband as, a slave commits to his master. Well, that scripture in Galatians. You're supposed to go to church, get in the back, keep your mouth closed. So the women, you do what? You replace your God-given narrative with that one because it's a story. So number 2 is you got to access your own story to experience your own glory. If you know your story because what it does, it amplifies you. So maybe it's time to question the nature of your narrative. If I'm really for the women, because the culture is a male-dominated culture. And so men will channel your narrative, ladies, and say, you could be a secretary. Maybe you want to be an auto mechanic. Maybe you want to work on houses. Maybe you want to be a roofer. But if you're a female, now I'm living in a brand new neighborhood, and I'm driving around, and I don't see no females doing construction. Maybe because that's the narrative. When I went to close in Chicago Title, I looked at one black lady. There was at least 100 people in there, and I saw no men. Zero, not one male. When I went to close, and I brought it up to not only, and I'm a six though. I do this for a living. I know this shit that nobody else knows. Even the lady who's been working there for 30 years said, I knew that, but I didn't really know that. I go to the break room, I talk to the girls, we hang out and stuff like. And I asked them, well, how come there's no men that work here? He said, well, it's mainly clerical work and secretary work, and most men, they're not really interested in working in, that's the narrative. So your job is to do what? Break out of the role. That's not your narrative. Maybe your narrative is, you're a man, but you want to work in and do clerical shit. Because it comes easy to you. But if it comes easy to you, the narrative says that you're not supposed to do it, guess what happens? There's pressure on you. So the question is, when you're accessing your narrative, the question is always, What is your most pressing problem? That's always the question. Always. The question is always, what is your most pressing problem? Because that is your most profitable product. So, I'll say it again. The question is always the same. Just like in WestWorld. What is your most pressing problem? Now, I'm going to say this again. If you talk to, this is your life. I already have got to a place where I eat, sleep, I do everything well. By the grace and mercy, if you will do that, to the Most High. You mean to tell me your most pressing problem doesn't garner all of your attention and your money? I'm confused. I'm not confused. I'm concerned for you. I'm concerned because your most pressing problem should have all of your attention and your money. Because energy flows where attention goes. So your most pressing problem, whatever that is, what is your most pressing problem? So you should not talk, you should not read, you should not eat, you should not drink, you should not hang out with anybody else or do anything that is not addressing the most pressing problem until that motherfucker is gone. Now, unfortunately, all your friends, family members, including yourself, don't want to talk about nothing that has to do with your most pressing problem. Because that's WestWorld. WestWorld, the whole world, the whole city, and notice the building, the name of the building is called Olympiad. Notice the building when you watch season 4, episode 5, that explains, really you got to watch, you got to go to the beginning of how they set up WestWorld. When it started, Anthony Hopkins plays the guy that we would call God. He's like in the Matrix, he's the architect. So he creates this whole world, and he needs to fill it up. So like when WestWorld starts, there's machines that create biology. All bees, flies, everything is created by technology. It is biological. It's called Wi-Fi. Like Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi. And if you were to, I love it. I watch it, damn shit, 4, 5 times every episode. I can't turn it off. Because something in my spirit, something in my body, because I studied biochemistry. And when I look at, the first thing I noticed when I looked at the DNA underneath the microscope, it looks like a computer. Like you can go to, right now you can go to YouTube. Now, I went to the University of Utah because they got a free DNA course totally online. Now, Harvard is coming out with something similar too, but you could take, basic neuroscience at a lot of different universities. And most of my degree, I was from Indiana University. But I switched over to the University of Utah because of their DNA and their biology program. And the shit was it was crazy. And I took freaking 60 hours, I don't know how many freaking hours. I was there every day because the shit was online. It was free. And I was blown away that this shit was like free. Like anybody just sign in, set up an account and you could take it. But if you wanted credit for it to apply toward a degree, then you got to, you got to apply, get tuition, blah, blah, blah. But if you just want to learn, about, biology and biomedicine, the shit was free. And I got into it. I got hooked, man. And I was blown away at how cellular biology worked. That's when I knew, like, hold up. Then I started studying coding. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Molecular biology and computer coding is the exact same. I was like, something is the fundamental units of life and the fundamental units of a CPU of a computer are identical. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, then I started taking classes and doing research at the University of Utah Data Center. And I looked at it from an aerial view, and I told you guys to go to Google and type this shit in for yourself. Utah Data Center. So every conversation and every picture that you take and upload on your cell phone or Facebook anywhere is stored at the University of Utah Data Center. Everything that you do is tracked. Now, I really don't give a shit. Because anything that I do, I ain't sorry. If a new pic of me popped up on Facebook, shit, I would tell everybody, hey, enjoy it, bro. Sis, I don't give a shit. But there are some people who do care. I don't. But there are other people who do. That's why I said, if you're scared, take your ass to church. The point that I'm making is the university, the Utah Data Center, is shaped in the form of a mitochondrial DNA. And it's a computer. Remember your boy who was on the run, Snowden? Where did he work at? Eric Snowden, y'all remember Eric Snowden? When he came out and, ratted out the secret at the NSA. He was a computer intelligence guy at NSA, National Security Agency. What's the point, Doc? WestWorld. The body, you are a biological computer that houses a consciousness. A computer is reverse engineered body. In fact, as I told you guys, a camera is a reverse engineered eyeball. All technology is reverse engineered biology. And if you study cellular biology on a molecular, remember you got to study molecular biology. This can't be regular biology. It must be molecular on a cellular level. Then you will see WestWorld, which is the narrative. You will see that protein synthesis come together and create a program. You can't do shit but run the program. You're a computer. Unless you rewrite the code, which is what I do. I'm a code writer. Just like in the movie Free Guy, just like in Avatar, just like in Black Panther, just like in Thor, just like in Superman, just like in Spider-Man, just like in Batman. Every mother beep beep. All the superheroes are red, green, or blue. Those three colors make up black. Stop playing. Hue. Another color, another study for melanin, another study for another time. I know. Shit's deep, right? What is your most pressing problem, though? We can sit up and talk about Superman and Batman, but what is your most pressing problem? Access your own motherfucking story. Fuck everybody else's story. Now, I know this is rough because you used to studying and reading about other people's shit. That's why your problems don't get, not you personally, of course, but people I don't know why you talk to, hang out with, do anything that doesn't have to do with you. But you was told that, well, you're not supposed to focus on yourself. That's selfish, Doc. You think? Who gonna pay your bills if you don't pay them? I mean, I don't know where y'all from, but where I'm from, like, I don't have nobody volunteering, calling me saying, hey, Brother Will, bro, let me get that light bill. Let me get that light bill for you this month, bro. Shit, I'll be paying other people's light bills. What's the point? Well, I'm blessed. You should be too, though. Monetize your highest story. You got to question your own reality. That's number two. If you watch WestWorld, all this shit I'm saying will become crystal clear. I mean, it will be so clear that you will be prepared to overcome everything that lies in your life. Because everything in life is negotiable. See, the key is abundance without bondage. WestWorld is a movie about how abundance has been replaced by bondage. They tricked everybody into the game of work. So everybody has, this what people tell me, Doc, shoot, I got meaning for work, brother. I don't work. Work is a Luciferian term. See, it's either purpose or papers, or papas or paper. So you can pursue paper or you can pursue purpose. See, most people are on the savior program. That means that you're a victim. Because a victim depends upon something or someone outside of itself. That's bondage. Your job is to create a geometrical or circle. You should be insulated or insulation based upon your initiation. So when we talk about the final piece of the puzzle, when we look at how you, number one, must see that this is a game. This is GTA 5. Once you see it's a game, then you got to access the game storyline. You got to understand, okay, what's the purpose of this game? Then once you understand the purpose of the game, now, shit, you got to be the best at the game. You got to master the game. Number 3. That's all I did. I mastered the game. Now, the game is set up. This is why I love the Big G. I love the Big G because the Big G set the game up for you to beat. The Big G set the game up for you to beat the master of the game. So the Big G gave you what I call your owner's manual. So your owner's manual tells you how to master the game. But first you got to, number one, you think that this is about, Jesus going to heaven, die, be good, and none of that. This is a game. Now that you know it's a game, okay, what is the game is about? Is this football? Did we kill the man with the ball? Or this is basketball? I can't touch the man with the ball. I got to try to stop the man from making a basket. Maybe it's soccer. You just run around kicking each other in the shin. Or it's golf. We just out there hit the little ball. Or maybe it's tennis. Teep, 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 back and forth. Maybe it's pool. So there's a lot of different games. You got to make sure that you understand your game, not my game. So in this world, you are a God that has generated, operated, and directed. You are God over a specific game. You're not the God over my game. I'm not the God over your game. See, you are playing the wrong God in the wrong game. You are God and a goddess. Now, I told everybody their game plan. So now everybody knows that they're in a game. And if you've been listening to me for the last 3 weeks, you know how to access the narrative of your specific game. Me, I'm playing the character in the game of a master teacher, a spiritual teacher. So I must master the game. In order for me to get out of the game, I got to master the game. I got to know how you beat the game. Now again, I'm not a gamer, so I don't know the correct term. But my son always talks about beating the game. Dad, I gotta keep playing. I gotta beat the game. Now, what the fuck does that mean? Beat the game. Well, I suppose you get to a point, I guess, where you level up and get to get the most points in the game. That's your job. So there's a manual of how to master the game. Now, the manual to how to master the game is found in what is called your life path number. Now, as of 33, I'm a spiritual teacher. But I'm also born in September, so I have total awareness. But I'm also a 6. That means I'm a very responsible spiritual teacher. That is why I got $100,000 that I pay you if you can prove me wrong on any shit that I say. I would rather die. I would rather put a bullet in my own motherfucking head than to come on here and say some shit that's not true. So this shit is serious for me. Everybody else is they just want to go on Facebook and just post up shit so they can appear intelligent. Not me. I would rather die than live in a world where a bunch of niggas just posting shit over there just to debate. To see or try to be Facebook heroes and they be real life zeros. Now, no disrespect to anybody who wants to do that, because I used to do that. That's why I know how the system works. Just like in WestWorld. In WestWorld, their job is to make you release dopamine without getting paid. How do you do that? I get to get you hooked on social media. Because social media is the only thing that releases dopamine better than church. Church next to social media. So if I can't get you to go to church and get you to release dopamine and you didn't do shit, you did not get paid. There's no money in your account, but your whole body feels like you don't got a man or a woman, but your body feels like you do. Because we are tricked. The whole game is to trick the body into releasing feel-good chemicals when you feel bad. That's the game. So the narrative, the storyline in the game is to get you to ask the wrong questions. So I never have to give you the right answer. Who am I? What am I doing here? Why am I here? And where am I going? Shit, those are the only questions that matter. Everything else that you're doing, you shouldn't be talking about it. Because you have to elevate if you want to participate. Busyness stops you from questioning your reality. So all I got to do is keep you busy. So can you see it, hear it, and feel it? That's how you master the game. Let me say it again. Can you see it? Can you hear it? Can you feel it? What is it? It is your most pressing problem revealed. So if your most pressing problem is finances or money, if your most pressing problem is health, if your most pressing problem is, Doc, I don't believe what you're saying, I'm looking for the truth. If your most pressing problem is, I need a man or I need a wounded man. I need my soulmate. I want a relationship. Whatever your most pressing, everybody got different things. Your most pressing problem is for you to take your niche or your narrative. You need to access your narrative. I gave everybody their narrative, remember? So if you're an Aries, your narrative is you are the charming achiever. That means you can't achieve shit without charm. So, and if you're an Aries is like war. That means you don't like charm. You just want to go and punch somebody in the mouth, take the shit, go home. That's why you will always be broke. Or that's why you will always struggle. Or that's why shit is hard for you. Because what you're doing is you are not accessing your storyline. Now, source code gave you a story. It's called a pattern. It's a program. It is a DNA template. In your DNA doesn't vibrate where you can connect to source until you access the template. So God designed you not to shine in somebody else's line. You got to get in your own line in order to shine. That's why I like the big G. He's just cool like that. He just set the shit up so that way you're guaranteed to win if you go within. So let's say that I don't like being a charmer, dog. And if you're an Aries. Now, charming is just what? Power through beauty. Now, I can think of a lot of Again, things that love you. What we talked about today. How do you make money with the shit that loves you? You don't like it, but it loves the fuck out of you. And you hate it. Now, everything I do was never in my game plan. What I'm doing right now, I didn't know. When I was a little kid, I did not think about sitting at home in my drawers, getting paid mad money to research and expose religion. When I was a little kid, I did not think about it. See, I like sports, still do. I would rather be going outside playing football. I'm being honest. I'd rather have a boys' football camp and be going around teaching, football skills, or in the gym teaching people the biomechanics of lifting weights, how to get swole, what to eat, blah blah blah. I'd rather be doing that. To be honest with you. But at night at 3 a.m., something shit pops in my head, and I research it, and it's the opposite of everything I've been taught. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? How that cannot be true? But then I research it, and I'll be hoping that it's not true. Because I already got a bunch of frenemies. My family think I'm crazy already. It's like I don't want to present no more shit to my family or anybody that doesn't go along with the narrative. But everything that comes upon news is a lie. I'm not even in Ukraine, in Russia. I don't give a shit about Ukraine. And I found out it's a smoke screen, so that way you don't see what's going on with China and Russia. And I can find proof for all of that shit easy. And I tell people, and they say, "Yo, that's not true, man. You one of those conspiracy nut dudes. Everything is a conspiracy with you, brother." So if you're Aries, you have something that nobody else got. Unfortunately, you don't like it, but it likes you. So, unfortunately, you're going to stay in Groundhog Day until you master the shit that comes easy to you. If you're Taurus, the bull, you just like doing what? You're a bull. You like just running over shit. Bulls, what do? They charge. Well, your storyline is a stabilizer. You're supposed to sit back. You're supposed to balance. You're supposed to be a foundational. If you're Taurus, your narrative, you got to access your narrative to master the game. So that way you can stay in your lane and money will flow to you easily and effortlessly. This is how you monetize it. So if you're Taurus the bull, April the 28th through May the 21st, you're not supposed to be running over shit, terrorizing people, blowing, bulls are like, I don't know if you ever seen a bull. Like, I grew up on the farm in the country. Bulls are freaking huge. If your ass get ran over, I got ran over by a bull when I was little. I was supposed to be. Matter of fact, 3 times. I think I died, supposedly, when I was a kid. Once I was a little kid, and a snake crawled into my thing because we had milk. And there was some kind of snake that I guess liked milk. And they was putting that snake out the bottle, and it bit me. Next, I was in a tree eating dewberries or mulberries, whichever one it was, and the snake bit me on the cheek. And I fell out the tree. And I think, I don't know, I was in a coma or knocked myself out. I don't know whatever happened because I was a little kid. Then the last time, and where I grew up at, they had cow drives. And this guy, a bunch of white guys, I remember his name was Mr. McCann. He was the richest guy in the town. He had a whole bunch of cattle. He would drive them mean that they would move from one pasture to another. Well, some kind of way, the story goes, a cow ran into the house. I don't know how it got to the door. Well, I was like, so those, supposedly I got ran over. The bull just ran me right over. Stepped on me. My little chest was all caved in. Rushed to the hospital. Supposedly I wasn't breathing, and I guess they brought me back. So supposedly when I was a kid, 3 times, I don't remember none of it, by the way, thankfully. I ain't even talking about then when I became an adult, the 6th time when I tried to commit suicide. So the fact that I'm still here talking to you is a miracle. So if you're Taurus the bull, don't try to run me over. I've already had that experience. Thank you very much. So Taurus, pull the reins back, sit your ass down, stabilize it. What is stabilize? It's a chair. So Taurus, your narrative is you're supposed to create stability so everybody else can sit down. You're the foundation, the floor for other people. You're the salt of the earth kind of person. That's your narrative. If you're a Gemini, then you are a witty change agent. You're just not. So in other words, you can't change shit unless you use wit. Now, I'm from Texas, so I'm used to that term. Some of y'all folks from Cali, y'all like, damn, Doc, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is, my brother. I got you, boo. I got you. Tell you I got you. So the word witty means one possessing wit in speech. It means that you are amusing and you're clever. That's wit. So the way that you create change is by using your cleverness and your amusingness. That's your key perception. Now I can go deeper into each one of these, and I may do a separate show on going through everybody's narrative in deep detail, so you can have access, so that way you can solve all your problems, so we can all get paid. Because remember, everybody, y'all got to come down here, when I do my housewarming party, so we can all, then after I build them the pool, so we can all sit pina coladas by the pool. You feel me? I can't pay for y'all flight tickets. I might house some of y'all, got a bunch of extra bedrooms, so some of y'all can stay at the crib. But, hey, some of you guys got just hotel rooms, you know what I'm saying? So a witty change agent is Gemini. Now, if you're a Cancer, you are what the Bible says. Cancer is one of the most powerful because you are the comforter. So your narrative, what loves you, now you probably don't like comforting people if you're Cancer. But the way that you make money is to monetize comfort. Now, the comforter is a person that comforts. Now, that word comfort is an interesting word because it really means somebody that has the ability to, all women like this. Ladies, is there any woman that doesn't like their man to, honey, everything is going to be all right? That's what you're supposed to be doing if you're Cancer. You're supposed to be reassuring the whole world. The sky is falling, hey, the economy, the world's going to blow up, we're all going to die, we're going to die. Okay, Cancer, you're up. So if you're Cancer, shit, you should be making mad money right now. Because everybody's freaking the fuck out. You should be telling everybody, yo, hold up, fellas. Calm the fuck down. What's wrong with y'all, man? This, slow down and take a chill pill. But you need to provide us with some proof, Cancer, as to why we should calm down, because, we all amped up. We amped up because we were watching the 6 o'clock news. The 6 o'clock news saying that, hey, they got monkeypox coming out right now. What? It's only 2 cases, but, hey, monkeypox. So, Cancer, you're up to bat because everybody's scarred. Your job is to soothe everybody. That's your meal ticket. Now, if you're a Leo, then you are the leader of the pride. Well, we got a conundrum. You don't lead with pride. Most Cancers, they are very prideful people. They miss the boat. So you're supposed to lead the pride. Now, I ain't talking about Pride Month either. I'm not talking about them down low brothers. I'm talking about, like, the lions. So, lions live in what is called a pride. Now, that's a family. It's a unit. So, if you are a Leo, your niche is to help not only establish, but you're also supposed to assist in the breeding and or raising of the cubs. Because all of the pride members are usually female, or they use feminine energy to lead. Very interesting because men associate Leo with the lion, not the lioness. But the lioness, they run the shift net. It's the feminine energy. Had to be the bearer of good news. So if you're Leo, that's your meal ticket. What is your meal ticket? Your narrative, your storyline is that, hey, you want to raise the little Shirins with feminine energy. So they can grow up and be what? Productive members of the unit. It's a family. Now, if you're a Virgo like me, to me, like shit, I love being a Virgo. Because we are the detailed constant expander. I cannot think of nothing else on the planet. It's not because I'm a Virgo. I like all of the other stuff. Out of all of the ones, Scorpio, I like probably second best. But if I look at all of the narratives, the storylines that allows you to make money with no effort, all I got to do is I got to be very detailed. That's why I do shows alone, because I talk a lot, because I go into details. And most people are like, whatever, not get to the point. Well, the devil's down there in details. That's why I talk about it. Detailed, and the shit's got to be constant. That's why I post every day. I do shit every day. I don't take no days off. I'm in the middle of a movie right now. I'm sitting in the house and shit in it. But right now, they built a new house, which is weird. The house we just bought, no, the internet people, AT&T was like, sir, we're going to be out there for 6 months. We're not scheduled to lay. So let me get this right. So you mean to tell me that nobody out there got internet? Now, me and the wife both work. The wife works at home. I work at home. She has to have a dedicated line for her job. So we got a new house and we can't even move into it, technically. But we found a guy. He out there right now. Land, putting in a dedicated line. It's just interesting that they built a whole neighborhood without first putting in the utilities and selling homes. Because, I mean, it's brand new. I mean, which is awesome. But damn, maybe you should put the utilities in there first. I'm glad that at least we got water and electricity. But for the internet, so I got internet here. So I'm sitting at the old house. Everything's gone pretty much. Except my desk and my stuff. So what am I doing? I'm expanding. What does that mean though? I'm taking something that already exists. I'm going deeper than other people. That's my job. So I get paid whenever I do that. Anytime money gets funny, I go back to first base and I realize I'm not expanding enough. So if you do this for your constellation, money flows automatically. So all I do is, if I want to make more money, I go with more details. It's crazy. I love it too because the people who have money usually are Caucasians. It's just the way it is. I'm just being honest. And every time I say, like the show I'm giving to do, all the Caucasians come out of the woodworks. Like, shit, I'll make what? $30,000 on August the 15th? Why? Because I'm talking about the Universal Unified Field of Physics. White folks like that shit. Black folks think, they're like, what the fuck is that? But white folks, wee. Now, I should talk about this shit all the time. But I like black folks too. So I try to include y'all in the design. So I start talking about church shit. But black folks, they don't want to pay. It's not that they can't, because a lot of black folks, they say, doctor can afford your program broken, I get a discount. Them Negroes on vacation, because I see their Facebook page. And they got on 300 pair of Air Jordans, and all of the women are carrying the same purses that my wife got. And I know that purse, because I remember paying $650 for a freaking purse. I mean, I don't do it no more. But I remember, so it's not that they don't got the money. That's not said for another time. Now we got up to bat is what? Libra. So Virgos, September, end of August, mid-September, we got to be detailed or you don't get paid. You got to be constant, consistent or you don't get paid. And you got to expand where everybody's teaching the same shit. You got to go further than everybody else or you don't get paid. Now, if you're a Libra, you don't make no money. You got to go get you a job and then you can balance shit, which is different from changing it. So Libras are balancers. Now, a balancer means that Libra is interesting because that means that you take cognitive dissonance instead of getting rid of it like I do. I tell people, hey, choose a side. Libra comes and say, oh, hold up, doc. It's not a either or world, brother. It's shit. We can have both sides come together. So we can take the masculine. Me, I'm saying, hey, be an alpha male or be a divine female. But a Libra will come along and say, hold up, time out, doc, time out. We can balance that. My brother praised Jesus. And you know what? Should they right? What? That's their lane, not mine. I can't balance it. I just say, if you're a man or you're a woman, figure it the bug out. But a Libra can say, hey, I'm here to create balance. Now, the thing that I love about Libra is that everybody needs to try to how do you remain upright and steady? See, balance is not about having, two sides. Balance is more about whatever size you have, shit, maintain it. It's about remaining upright and steady, in steady position. Balance has to do with being steady. So there's a lot of people that can get the position, but can you keep the position? So Libras get paid by helping people do what? Remain upright and steady. I get paid by helping people expand. Leos get paid, again, by helping people lead with feminine energy. Cancer get paid by telling everybody it's going to be all right. Gemini get paid by using their intelligence to change jobs or change. Taurus, the bull, gets paid by not running over everybody, but actually helping somebody, giving people a hand up. Aries get paid by using their beauty to move forward. Now, beauty is more than skin deep. Beauty is also intelligence. There's a lot of different things that are beauty, but you use beauty to move forward. Then we got the Scorpion. Instead of stinging everybody, Scorpio, get paid by being patient achievers. So notice the difference between Aries, charming achiever, Scorpio, patient. So Scorpio comes in and telling everybody, instead of stinging everybody and saying, hurry the beep up, you come and say, hold up, time out. Everybody take a deep breath. Just relax. Visualize yourself in your desire fulfilled. And make sure that you are able to manage obstacles, problems, and delays. So a Scorpion or Scorpio get paid by being patient. It's interesting because when you go to the doctor, you are a patient. But patient simply means someone who doesn't necessarily accept delays, but they are calm during delays. So Scorpio, that's your job. You get paid. For people that are impatient and realize that, hey, the best way to achieve things is by maintaining a peaceful disposition in the midst of the storm. Then we got Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the life partaker, not the life partner. So you get paid when you partake in life. So a lot of people, I say my son this all the time, because you're like, Dad, I do not want to partake in life. I see you crash and burn. I don't want none of that crazy. I said, BJ, you gotta live, bro. You gotta jump in. I'm scarred. If life is what you've been doing, because I've been watching you get your ass whooped by life, I don't want none of that. So he could have used a Sagittarius to say, hey, you need to participate. You need to get in where you fit in. You need to be a partaker of life. Join in the frenzy. Find your lane. Get in where you fit in. Partake in life. Then comes Capricorn, the climber. It's interesting because it's talking about a goat. Because goats are what? Sure-footed. So Capricorn gets paid when they help people be sure-footed. That means risk analyst. If you're Capricorn, you got to be able to, your job is, for whatever reason, you are a very, very good risk analysis. You know when to climb. You're very sure-footed. You don't overstride. You have the ability to assist people with establishing realistic goals and achieving them, climbing, that means moving forward, uphill. I like that one. I really like Capricorn because we all are living in an uphill environment from that perspective. So that's how you get paid or monetize what comes easy for you. If you're Capricorn, you demonstrate it by doing it in your own life, and then you assist everybody else. By what? Moving forward, climbing uphill, by analyzing and making sure that your steps are sure. Don't move forward unless it's what? It's pretty firm. Then Aquarius, next to me, Aquarius is the next best one other than the detailed concept expander of Virgo because it's out of the box thinker. I love that. So we're in the age of Aquarius. So we're in the age of thinking outside of the box. So everybody on the call thinks outside of the box. That's what this show is today. Today's show is a show about Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius, You only get paid when you come up with shit that, like, damn, you know what? You sure right. Aquarius, you are a aha kind of person. Every time you show up, Negro should respond when you show up like, damn, I never thought of it that way. You're the person that come up with stuff like, cup holders. Or, a lid that put on top of your drink after you open it so it doesn't spill. So you are the person that adds to things that already exist because you think a little bit outside of the box. Aquarius. Last but not least, Pisces. Pisces is the intuitive visualizer. Ooh-wee, that's kind of like an 11. So the Pisces only gets paid when they use their intuition to create vision. Damn. Excuse me. That's pretty close to a Virgo. I mean, when you look at the best way to get paid from doing shit that loves you, and you don't like this. Everything I said, everybody called me like, shit, Doc, I don't know, bro. You want me to do what again? Now, like I'm telling you, I've been doing this shit for 20 plus years, and I'm making mad money. And every time I get paid, I'm like, I gotta pinch myself because I want to go do something else. And I have to, like, it's crazy because the devil always brings temptation. And I think the devil is just you tempting yourself. Why? Because the lust of the flesh, the pride of life, and the cares of this world. So you got a lane. But in order for you to experience financial gain, you got to stay in your lane. So everybody got a lane, but you don't stay in it. Even though I'm telling you right now, I would give you $100,000 if you do this for 60 days and you don't get paid. If you don't make more money than you've been making your entire life, I'll give you $100,000. I know I would never have to pay that back. Because why? God honors his word above his own name. Source. So I'm telling you, whether you believe me or not, shit, you ain't got nothing. You can make $100,000 in the next 60 days. Just try it. Do it on the side. Keep your day job. Keep doing what you're doing. Just dedicate 1 hour a day to this. 1 hour. Because remember, science states that nobody can focus on themselves for 1 hour. Why? You don't relax yourself. Like deep down inside, everybody hates themselves, except for me. Excuse me, I'm just playing. But I had to learn too. That's why I'm teaching it. You know what I learned? Shit, I like me now. Y'all better stop playing. Me, myself, and I, all three of us, what? Y'all don't even know. Y'all better stop playing. This is not a game. Like, we party. Like, we like weed. I don't know if y'all understand. I hang out with me every day. Me, myself, and I. All three of us fucking party like rock stars. Everywhere we go, we rock stars. People know us. I go to Walmart and people be like, I can't drive my car nowhere. But then somebody will come up to me and say, man, damn, what was you say, bro? What car is it? Man, let me see how fast does it go? What you got in the engine? Like, bro, I got shit to do, dog. I ain't got time to sit here and talk. So what is it? It's an attention getter. Then I can do what? Because with a business card, I can start expanding constantly on my details. You should be being the same. The Pisces has an advantage over everybody because their intuition creates their vision. That means that their intuition, that's where God is at. That means you see it first. They're like all 11s. But remember, you see it way before everybody else. So when you start saying it, everybody's going to say, damn, she just said that everybody's going to be walking around with a phone in their pocket. And they're going to be able to access this thing that, what do they call it? She said it was going to be called a search engine or some shit like that. So back in the 70s, when everybody had beepers and cell phones, if you was an 11, you already knew that the internet was coming out and everybody was going to have their own personal phone. And when the Bill Gates and all them fools came out and said that everybody would have a computer on their own desktops, everybody thought, them fools is crazy as hell. Now, everybody got computers, plural, on their desktop. Yeah, they're not so crazy anymore. That's an 11. Or Pisces. So it's okay, Pisces, because you see shit before it shows up. But guess what? You got to love yourself because you out there by yourself. Because guess what? It is your narrative. It is not mine. So as I found out, nobody's going to support you but you. Now, if somebody does that similar to you, man, you are a lucky man or a lucky womb man. Because it's very rare to find your soulmate or twin flame or your, what I call your vibrational equivalent. Now, again, when you do, your ass going to be walking around on your toes. You're going to be giddy as a mother. You're going to be amped up on 8 cups of coffee, like me. So my brothers and my sisters, that's how you monetize what comes easy to you. Because in this world, you are God. So number one, start acting like God. Just every day to yourself, don't say it out loud. Somebody might call, somebody, put your ass on some medication. So say it to yourself. I am a God. Then define what God means. I am a individual expression of God on earth. Then define what that means. I have the ability to generate my own thoughts. Then define what thought means. That simply means that I don't necessarily generate the thought. The thought comes into the brain and I inspect the thought. So I am a thought inspector. So this thought came into my head that said, go slap my neighbor. I inspected it and I rejected it. Then another thought came into my head that said, hey, you should write a ebook and share it on Facebook and Instagram, set up a website and start getting paid using the digital product because it's an instant download. It's just a PDF document. You got the mail shit. You don't need a Spotify, blah, blah, blah. You can get paid. All you got to do is just share the link. You should accept that thought because that's what I do every day. And if you need assistance, then you should connect with somebody like me. I can assist you with manifesting that really quickly. You post on Facebook and Instagram anyway, shit, you might as well get paid. So once you understand the game, then you access your own narrative, which I just gave you, and then that's how you master the game. So while you're in the process of it, you got to see it. So what I just said, I have to see myself as a constant, detailed expander. Thankfully, I do. I have to hear myself constantly detailing and expanding, and I'm doing it right now. Then I can feel myself. Once I feel it, it's over. Because once what you feel, that is the shit that is guaranteed to become real. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to break bread with you. Depending on what's going on, there may or may not be a show tonight. If I can get switched over to the new house, and I'll do the show from there. Shit, I may do a live Facebook Live video, show everybody around the new spot. If not, I'll be back here at the old house. If I'm still here, then we'll just do a regular show. But I'll let everybody know. I love you. Appreciate you. Talk to everybody later on. God bless.